You have any questions?
No, I mean, can y'all tell my tongue is blue?
No, what?
Well, I can now.
There's this stuff that you can drink that's good for cognitive awareness. And so I drank some this morning and it made my tongue bluer than normal. So
Bluer than normal.
yeah, so I'm trying not to overexpress with my face.
Is it Smurf juice? What is that?
Yeah.
It's called methylene blue. It's supposed to have some really good benefits for cognitive ability. Yeah, and so that's one of the weird things. So it made my tongue really blue, and now
So you are literally juiced up for this interview. That's what you're saying.
Boom, man! Like I don't do it all the time. It's just like this morning I woke up really lethargic, and I was like, man, I'm gonna do some blue. I'm gonna do some blue, and that way I'm awake for the interview.
Welcome back to the Ministry Without Hating It podcast, a ministry of Odyssey Haven coaching and counseling dedicated to the pursuit of answering the question, is it possible to do ministry without hating it? We have a theory that it just might be. I am Chad. I'm here with my good friend till the end, my ride or die. This is Brenton.
Yo.
What in the world was that?
It felt like an old man saying hello. I have no idea.
Well, you are 65, so
Yeah, something like that.
yeah, he looks very, very young, but we all know it's in the eye cream. So
Yeah, I need
Brenton,
some extra today.
yeah, I can. Yeah, we're both dragging a little bit. I think it's because we're fully into fall. I'm enjoying the cooler weather. It's darker in the morning. I don't want to wake up. I want to hibernate, and I get it. I get it, buddy.
Yep.
So
October is just my busiest ministry month all year. Every year, that's just the way it goes.
yeah, there are probably a lot of people that just said, "I second that." That might be listening and understand that. And it's kind of it's that funny thing. You're like, well, it's just this season where we'll be out of it, and then
Thanksgiving,
and then here's your next season. Yeah, the
Yeah.
holidays are here, and it's a never-ending season. We go from season to season.
There's
ministry.
a very big cognitive dissonance there between like we're just like, oh yeah, we're almost done with it.
Yep.
And yeah, it's
well played on even the verbiage there. That was good. That was good.
yeah.
Well, I think you and I are in a good mood because we just had an amazing conversation with a guy that I just met today. I know this is somebody that you have known just a little bit.
Yeah.
Brought him to the podcast with Pastor Jesse Lambert. Fantastic conversation.
Yeah.
Really encouraging, a lot of fun. I followed with him on literally every pop culture reference.
Yeah.
So I already feel like I'm winning. And even volleyed one at him that he didn't know about, and that's a little tease for later. But how did you feel about this one?
Well, I'll tell you what I want. I want to know from you.
Okay.
Yeah, what I really, really want. I want to know from you. Did you feel like today was I felt like the interview was specifically geared for us. Like the Lord was in it and Jesse was our guest, but I felt like the Holy Spirit was there ministering to all of us through it. And I think it's very evident as the interview goes on that it was timely, and I believe it'll be timely for you listening as well.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. And at one point I was like, this isn't about me. This is about, we're here for him. What do we, But you can just really see, like you said, within this interview specifically, and I would no doubt say it probably shows in all that he does, the evidence of the Holy Spirit just working through speaking and leading, and even in his vulnerability. Just a fantastic conversation. And so we are super excited for you all to hear this as we wind down on season 4. So without any further ado, we present to you our conversation with our friend, Pastor Jesse Lambert. Well, it is our privilege to welcome somebody who Brent and I don't know real well, but we're hoping within the next hour to get to know especially well. This is Pastor Jesse Lambert. Welcome to the Ministry Without Hating It podcast.
Well, I'm privileged to be here. Thank you guys for even thinking of me for this.
We're excited to jump in. We like to start off our interviews and they seem like they start in a silly place, but they actually end up sometimes going into deeper waters, and that's okay if you do. So describe yourself for us in 3 words.
This is a really hard question.
I know, that's why we start at the hardest, and then it
complex,
just gets easier from there. That's design that way.
I am Jesse, like I am Groot.
I like you already.
Hard to explain, but you'll get a sense of it by the end. I'm adventurous. I love being an adventure. I love being out in nature. So yeah.
Okay, so that's one. It's one word. Or is the I am Jesse? Is that the 3?
Yeah. There, we got it. It's all tagged there. I love
that's incredible
being adventurous.
Okay.
With everything I do.
Okay.
More than 3, but
no, that's fine. So pull that out, because there's a lot of. I mean, that's almost a loaded thing to say. Because when I think of adventurous, I think of grabbing that sword off the wall there that you're talking about, and hacking my way through the jungle. But what does that mean for you?
I surf. I'm active. I go hiking, love camping. Again, I surf.
You surf. You're in Texas.
Yes, down at Packery Channel. We get some really good waves down there.
There is a Gulf down there, Brenton.
Yeah.
I was just there like last week.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
You surf year round there, and don't really need anything more than a spring suit. So it's a good thing. Yeah. That's Jesse. I like sports. I like playing sports. I'm not so much as a sit down and watch sports kind of guy. I love playing sports still. Was in the Marine Corps, so did a lot of really cool high speed, low drag stuff down in the Marine Corps. I've ridden bulls. I was on the Marine Corps rodeo team for a little bit. I was on the Marine Corps Bass Fishing League. I've done a lot of good things, a lot of cool things. So I like bringing excitement into whatever we're doing. So the adventure continues, even in ministry.
That's actually my follow-up question, because you listed all those things of bull riding. I'm curious how that how ministry pales or does not actually far exceeds all of those adventurous things.
Yeah. Well, ministry is a lot like, walking up to the chute. You never know what each day is going to look like, right? You don't know if you're going to get bucked off or if you're going to cover it. And so whenever you climb up and get up out, you pray before you get out of bed, because you got to get Jesus in your life before the devil gets to your feet, right? And so you pray before you get out of bed, and then before you look at your phone, right? That way you're ready for whatever's coming. And so that's kind of looking at your phone is kind of like figuring out what bull you drew. You know what? Are you going to get a ranked bull, or is today going to be an easy day? Are you going to be able to cover? Or are you going to get stepped on? You're going to get the horns, or what are you going to get, right? It's kind of like surfing. You check the surf forecast, right? I'm always checking the surf forecast, seeing if there's a swell in. And then you're like, yes, we got a 4-foot swell coming in, 4 to 5s. And then so you take 4 hours, you get down there as fast as you can, and you get there and it's flat. And you're just like, are you kidding me? So there are days in ministry that are like the surf forecast being wrong. You get so excited about what God's getting ready to do. And you get around the people, and then you're like, well, I don't see him doing anything today. You're like, well, crud. My expectation was up here. I better bring it down a notch. Just kidding.
No, you're not. And that's okay. I think that's great. Oh, man. That is fantastic. There's so much of that I can just look at just where I'm at personally, and even ministry, and go, yep, that's about right. What bowl did I get today, or what's up with the surf forecast? I don't even know what's happening. That's really good. That's really good. So we did. This is actually relatively new because the site that I use, like the icebreaker stuff for, recently added this AI random icebreaker generator, and so you are the second guest to get one of these. And so the one that you drew was, what emoji best describes how you're feeling right now? Hard hitting stuff.
I guess it would be the emoji that's kind of like, like what's this going to turn out? What's this going to look like? Right.
Okay.
The expectation or anticipation emoji, just like, oh, can't wait to see what's going to happen next kind of dude.
Is that the one where it's the smiling, or it's all like the rounded teeth one?
No, let's do the smiling one.
Okay, the smiling one. Okay,
yeah, because this is good.
It's okay. All right, it's a good one. All right. This is not a random generated question, but I think it needs to be asked. I've been meaning to ask this for a while. Speaking candidly, were the Spice Girls a good team?
You know, you guys, you guys sent me the questions, right? And so
yeah.
I had to look up who the Spice Girls were.
Stop it. Stop it.
I mean, what did you got, like Poppy Spice or whatever Spice, Baby Spice, all these different like names for these girls. And let me look at my text message real quick. I had to ask my wife.
Wow.
And so
did she know?
And my wife said she wanted to be Sporty Spice.
Sporty, yeah.
Okay.
So she was appalled I didn't know who the Spice Girls were. But if you would have asked me, oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just saying. Well, I'm not gonna ask you like how old you are, but what year did you graduate high school? Maybe that will help me.
96.
Oh, then you should definitely know who the Spice Girls are.
I don't know. Well, I'm a country boy. I don't look like it. If you would have asked me if Brooks and Dunn were a good, good combination, good teamwork.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Right.
Yeah.
They could harmonize. They could work through lyrics. They could write songs together. They would go out and they would perform. Mission accomplished. Boom. Spice Girls. I don't know.
I almost don't know where to go. What does it say about me that I know who they are and also who Brooks and Dunn is, though? Like, that's
a wide gambit.
I'm all over the place. I don't know. All right, I will accept that.
Accept it. Check.
I mean, Rascal Flatts. I'm trying to think of another group.
Oh yeah, Rascal Flatts, good. Yeah.
You know, they had some good stuff. Okay. Yeah. All right. All right, we're gonna wind out of this. What do you find exciting, or what's inspiring you right now?
The season, and we're speaking strategically or specifically about ministry or life in general.
You can do either, yeah, or you can do both.
Let's hit both real quick.
Okay.
The season in my life with I have a 15-year-old who's soon to be 16. So Asher's 16. And Gideon's 12, and man, it's such a cool age to be at. And we actually went and picked up Asher's truck yesterday, his first truck. So first time we ever bought anything, a vehicle for our kids. So super. Well, I can't say that they've had dirt bikes, but anyway, like a motor vehicle, right?
Yeah.
And so super pumped to see the reaction, and it's an older truck. He wanted an old truck.
Good for him.
We got him an old first generation Cummins. It's a 1993 Cummins, and it sounds just like a John Deere jacked up on some stinking pre-workout. It's awesome.
It did some blue, is what you're saying.
That's right.
That's a callback to hopefully the intro. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it has no context.
Yeah.
And so that's this season in life, and is really good. God's grace is everywhere. It's Pastor Appreciation Month. We got honored incredibly well this year. Not that we haven't in past years, but this year just blew our socks off. The love that was showed to our family, and it's not just one in ministry. Whenever you're in ministry, it's your whole family.
Yeah.
Rebecca, my wife, she actually is a co-pastor, but my kids are involved, just as involved as we are. Whenever we were starting the church plant, they wanted to be the ones that wrote the curriculum for children's church. I mean, this is how involved they want to be.
Wow.
And so both of them are excellent singers and musicians. So Asher's playing the drums, Gideon does background vocals and leads sometimes. And just, they're incredible kids. And we're truly blessed. God knew what he was doing. And so, yeah, so super, super pumped about that. In ministry, it's a season, a change of season as well. It feels like we have come into this new territory, right? He called us into, well, it's not quite the promised land yet, but we're in the fields working it. And so, yeah, we're in this new season where I feel like Holy Spirit is active, and just actually the people are pressing in and seeking. And there's a lot of growth across the board, just from leaders down to just somebody who comes on Sunday. You can see the shift and the change in the atmosphere. And so it's an exciting time. And I'm thrilled. I'm excited.
That's great. I can hear the not just the hope, but the momentum in your voice when you're talking about it. I think it's great. That's great. Cool. I'll have what you're having. Let's put it that way.
It's blue.
That's right.
It's blue.
It's blue. It's blue. So for context, tell us where you're at, what your role is, how long you've been there. You'd mentioned church planting, and I'd love to maybe unpack some of that as a former church planter myself. But yeah, tell us where you're at, what you're doing, what ministry looks like for you right now.
All right. So we launched about 4 years. We're coming up on 4 years of launch. And we started in our living room. That wasn't, it's just gathering people, leaders, during
that
COVID.
That counts. No. Yeah, absolutely.
And then whenever we got to about 33 people or so, we were like, okay, we need to get out of our house. And then so the Lord gave us a place to go, the Chamber of Commerce in Georgetown, plenty big enough for everything that we do. Of course, it's set up and tear down. We're signing our fourth year with them. And so set up and tear down. We're there Sundays. We can get there at 7, have to be out by 12:15 because they have events that usually happen on Sunday afternoons. And so we are limited in like what we can do. Sure. So we have to be creative outside of the building aspect. And so it's made it really hard over the years to try to get outreach ministry going, to try to get different ministries going, because then you're relying on individuals to supply their homes or their businesses, and so it's been a challenge to try to figure that out, because the heart of a pastor is you want to go ahead and shepherd, like not just your people, but go outside of the walls and do ministry outside. Right. And so that's kind of where we're at. We're in Georgetown, Texas, and the population has exploded. We're probably 115,000 now. And 8 years ago, we were maybe 60.
That's just the city.
Like doubled.
Yeah, really. That's crazy. That's crazy.
And so there's churches they're church plants all over the place. And it's really weird. There's like this religious like shell or bubble over Georgetown where it's hard to explain unless you're here and you're interceding and it's revealed to you. And so we're praying to break down those walls to where all the churches can just come together, right? And we can reach the people, because interdenominational, all right?
Sure.
That's what Foursquare is. And so we want to partner with other churches. We want to do outreach events with other churches. We want to do all these things. And I'm not going to go into it, but I've met with a group of pastors, and Foursquare, we believe in women in ministry, and kind of, it was one of those things where it wasn't taken that my wife could be a part of it. And there's some other things that came up during the meeting that I just was like, okay. But God's good. God is placing other pastors that with similar beliefs and structures and stuff. And that way we can start partnering, actually getting involved with another pastor's collective that's not necessarily in Georgetown, but it's Greater Williamson County. And I'm thrilled to be a part of that and to see the hearts of the ministers at a bigger outside of Georgetown.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking bad about Georgetown. I'm not talking bad about all the churches. It's just, not everybody aligns with the beliefs that we do. So
yeah, no, I don't hear that at all. I think, in fact, in any, I've had the privilege to pastor in a few different cities now at this point, and every single one has its own challenges, context, things like that, and especially when it comes to church planting. I don't know if you encountered some of this. There can be, even if it's not necessarily spoken, almost a competitive like nature within there of just like, and I didn't hear this under the church planting stage, but I did hear it early on in ministry of like being a sheep stealer. Like you're taking from, and I'm like, wait, what? Like I didn't know that was even something that you could do, nor would I even try to, that kind of a thing. Yeah. And so I hear what you're saying. I'm not hearing that you're, belittling or bashing anybody. It kind of just comes with the territory in some ways.
Yeah. And I'm more like, man, if you're happy somewhere else, go. If the Lord's calling
absolutely.
You, I'm like, go, have a blessing, go. Because I know that God's faithful and he prunes for a reason.
Right.
And the reason he prunes is for more growth. And, whether it's in numbers, whether it's in people just growing spiritually and becoming more mature Christians, because we all know that we need more mature Christians that aren't on the milk anymore. They're on the meat. Right. And they're ready to serve other people. And so, yeah. So,
well, and that's also part of, I mean, yes, absolutely. And part of it is we're supposed to be sending in some regard. Like that's, you do keep certain people and that becomes the church family, and that's what they're drawn to, and that's fine. But, also part of what we're supposed to do is to send as well.
Yes.
And
agreed.
And sometimes they need to be sent because it's actually going to be detrimental to them and to us if they were to stay,
Oh, absolutely.
That is our mission.
Yeah, that's good. What, looking back at your ministry journey, and you talked a little bit about this just before, but I'm curious, like, what was maybe the catalyst that moved you into where you're like, this was before what you would consider to be ministry, and this is now what it is. What was that? How did that start for you? And you can go back into your story a little bit if you need to, but I'm curious where that all began for you.
All right, so we'll go. We're gonna have to go way back.
Okay. Back past the Spice Girls, probably.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Or Brooks and Dunn. I'm sorry, Brooks and Dunn.
Yeah. So I military family. I'm military myself. And so we didn't go to church. We went a few times, but the experience was never good.
Okay.
I remember my thought about going to church was like, if this is what church is, I don't want anything of it. Right. Mm-hmm. Whenever I was a small kid. And so I lived with my parents, up until they got a divorce whenever we were young. And then I went and lived with my grandparents. My grandparents were Jehovah's Witnesses. They never asked me to go to the Kingdom Hall meetings or any of that stuff. Or any of that. They never pushed their beliefs on me. But I will say that I did learn to pray and had a relationship with Jesus because of my grandmother.
Wow.
She would read the Bible to me whenever I was a little kid as I was falling asleep, or she would, read the Watchtower magazines to me. And I remember listening to the stories and stuff. And so fast forward, I am 14 or 15. My dad and stepmom are moving from Mobile, Alabama to Arkansas, and they're selling. They had several businesses, and so they're selling the businesses. So I was in Oklahoma, and I went to go help them move, and so moved them to Arkansas, and I decided I would stay a year because everything was super cool, right? And this little town in Leachville, Arkansas, had my stepmom and dad, they start going to this Southern Baptist church. And so I go into this Southern Baptist church with them, go a couple times. I think the second time I was there, I gave my life over to the Lord, that I really knew that I actually confessed and gave my life over to the Lord, right? Mm-hmm. That it was a strange story. The Lord's like, hey, you're going to be a pastor. I didn't even know exactly what that meant. And then so I'm like,
why are you threatening me, God? What's
yeah. I'm like, wait,
I just started.
Yeah. And what's crazy is after that service, the pastor came right up to me out of, hundreds of people. And he was like, hey, you have a major calling on your life, and I want to help you see what that is.
Wow.
Then that same day, my dad and my sister decided they were going to get baptized the next week or something. And so he's like, hey, can I talk to you in my office? So I go to this pastor's office, and he's like, dude, you have this call on your life. And I really didn't know this terminology or whatever. He's like, hey, you have a major influence and all this other stuff. And so at that point, there was confirmation, right, that I was supposed to go into ministry. And fast forward, ran away, went the opposite way, Jonah,
sure.
Just running away, did everything, right? Wild child, but very respectable. I respected people, always have. But like I said, I was the adrenaline junkie. I was the one who wanted to be the life of the party, that kind of guy, right? And so go into the Marine Corps, get out of the Marine Corps, meet this girl, Rebecca. Her parents are Foursquare pastors. Her grandparents were actually married. Amy Simple McPherson actually married them, right?
Oh my gosh.
And so they go all the way back to the beginning.
Wow. You didn't realize what you were getting into at that point.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Wow.
Okay. And so here I am, this guy,
really
date this girl, and she's like, she doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, doesn't cuss, doesn't do any all this stuff, and you've got this young Marine, right? And I'm like, okay, cool. I don't have to do that. And it was to the point where I actually told her one time after a couple weeks of a date and be like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that you could have so much fun and not have a beer. And it was like what? And so then I started going to church with her. And I started watching this love for the Lord just pouring out of her, right? And I'm going to try not to get emotional. And I wanted it. I wanted that. And then I'd never heard people speak in tongues before. And, I actually approached her parents, and I was like, I've got to ask you guys a question. And I was like, you planned this, right? You're like, okay, you make this noise, and we're going to say this. And they're like, what are you talking? I'm like, you call it speaking in tongues, but y'all have meetings and you discuss where the direction you want the church to go. And that way you can, they're like, are you kidding me? And I'm like, no. They're like, no, we swear to you on our lives. I'm like, all right, it's good enough for me.
That's amazing.
And then so I started emulating, right, underneath my breath. I'm not speaking tongues out loud, but I'm emulating this spirit, like this prayer language that I hear people speaking and all this other stuff. And anyway, long story short, so we immediately started jumping in, and we start helping out with children. So I start helping out with youth, and I've been married 23 years now. So this is 23 years ago, and then we move away as soon as we get married to Branson, Missouri, and we get involved with churches there, and we're helping serve there. And then we moved to Nashville. My wife was a singer-songwriter at the time. And so we're doing all this music stuff, and we moved to Nashville and get involved with an Assemblies of God church, because they did have a Foursquare church. It was just a little bit further drive.
It just wasn't as cool, right? Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Yes. We're allowed to be weird. We're allowed to be real on this. Yeah, so go ahead. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Well, It was called Music City Assembly of God. And the pastor was my age, and I started up this company called Hauling Tile, and I would do deliveries to all, like it was a cool company. And then so we became really close. And he saw the call of God on my life and my wife's life, and he would always try to call it out. But Jesse, really good at taking stuff and saying, cool, right on. And he's like, they offered me a paid youth pastor position. And I was very insecure. I was a very insecure individual, just because of things in life, as we've all had things spoken over us and, called names and such. And so because of that, I couldn't see myself as a leader in the church. I would follow, I would do everything, I would serve, I would do it all. But to step up and be a leader at that time, I was probably 28 or so. And I'm like, yeah, the youth know more scripture than I do. There's no way. I'm not going to embarrass myself. And he's like, dude, this was your way. You were going to come in and be an associate pastor with me. And then I was going to send you out and you were going to do a church plant over here. And I'm like, sorry.
Oops.
I love that. That's good.
Yeah, sorry.
And then we,
sorry.
He's one of my best friends still. And then so we move away, and and we get to Texas, and we get heavily involved in Texas and just serving like crazy. And this is all going to make sense here in a second.
We're following you. You're good.
And we're serving, doing all kinds of stuff within the church. She's leading worship. She's like, we're ushers, greeters. We're all kinds of stuff. We're doing a church plant in Round Rock with another Foursquare pastor. And we're doing all kinds of stuff. And there was one day, like we were doing this church plant, and the Lord, the whole time we knew we were supposed to be planting. We knew that we were supposed to be pastors, and we talked about it. But Jesse would always be like, figure out a way to push it away. Be like, okay. No. Yeah. And then so at some point, the audible, I don't know. When God speaks, this is like the third time that he spoke directly to me. And the first time I was driving, I had to pull off the side of the road because I thought my truck was going to shake and fall and flip over.
Oh, wow.
Because everything was just, whoa, while it was insane. And it was really strange and cryptic. It's like the time, it's time. That was what he yelled at me. And I'm like,
oh my gosh.
I'm like, what? And like everything's just rumbling and shaking. And it was insane, guys. And I won't go into the whole detail, but I just exploded and just all these emotions. I'm like, take me, I'm ready then. If it's time, let's go. I'm like, I don't know what we're doing, but let's do it. Wow. And so anyway, so I had to go backwards to tell you that to get back to where we're at. So we're fast forwarding to Nashville. That was in Branson when that happened.
Okay.
So right after we got married. So now here we are in Nashville. All right, back in Texas. And the Lord, he gets your attention, Whenever when God calls, when he calls you, he doesn't stop. He's like got you on robo-dial, dude. And it never stops. And then you're like constantly just pick it up and hang it up, right? You're or you pick it up and you're like, no hablos inglés. And you're trying to act like, yeah, Lord, I don't know what you're saying. I don't understand. And then he calls you right back. So for 20 something years, I'm fighting the phone that God keeps calling me on. Man, my heart is just wrenched and my mind is like socked. And so here we are. And he's like, Jesse. I'm like, eh? He's like, when are you going to do what I've called you to do? And I'm like, I'm serving. We're doing this. I'm on setup team. I'm on teardown team. I help with audio. I help with video. I help usher. I do this. I'm doing all these things. I'm like, I've been doing things ever since you told me, right? and he's like, no, when are you going to do what I've called you to do? And that's to be a pastor. And I'm like, well, I've been a pastor. He's like, no, when are you going to lead the church? And so then he goes into, I've taken away every excuse you've ever gotten me. And this is all happening in your head. You know how God, it's verbally in your head that there's nothing, you can't see anything else, can't hear anything else. You're just on him.
Yep.
And he's like, I've taken away everything, every excuse you have ever given me. I'm not smart enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not this. I'm not that. I don't have the finances, all these things, right? He's like, I've taken away every excuse you've ever given me. What do you want me to take away next? And I'm like, whoa. And he's like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Do you want me to take away your cars? Do you want me to take away your finances? Do you want me to take away your home and your securities? He's listing off all these things in my life that I made idols over him, right? Yeah. All of these things that I have been serving and holding to because they gave us our stability here, right? And he's like, what do you want me to take away next? Do you want me to take away your wife? Do you want me to take away your family? And I fell on my face and I said, no, I'm all yours. Wow. I will commit everything to you. And that's whenever Jesse was like, okay, what do you want me to do? I will do whatever you ask me to, Lord. And that's where fear and reverence for the Lord comes in.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's whenever I decided that, hey, I need to get licensed. And then so Rebecca and I, we go and get licensed. And then we jump out and we start doing the church plant. And he has been leading and guiding and directing us this entire time. And so, yeah.
And so that was, if I'm remembering this correctly, so that was about 5 years ago-ish, right? 5, 6 years ago.
About 7 years ago, when he spoke to me, because it took a little bit to get through the whole licensing process and get everything.
It's not quick.
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about at all. Yeah. No, that's a separate podcast, but it's called Foursquare Without Hating It. I'm just kidding. We may or may not keep that. I don't know. I'll see how I feel about it tomorrow. I got Foursquare friends that listen to this anyway.
We all know.
They're all laughing right now too. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. But I only bring this up because I'm curious, and thank you for taking us on that journey. What an incredible story, and it's not just one catalyst. It sounds like several. And I don't know anybody who hasn't run, like you said, like Jonah. I know I did, especially. That was my story at almost every stop. And it's like the resistance and like, nope, okay, I guess we should do that. But I'm curious then, especially having a very non-traditional, if you can even say anybody has a traditional ministry journey, but especially even growing up and seeing the church, as an unbeliever and then coming in and just allowing the Lord to shape you. How would you define today? How would you define ministry right now?
Oh, man, it's God's church. I don't want it. I don't want the responsibility.
I'm liking you more and more. This is good. Keep going. Yeah.
I'm constantly like, Lord, this is your church. These are your people.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm at wit's end. I don't know what to do, Lord. You've got to step in. I'm just doing what's cool about God, right? Is we can get to that point where we try to continue to do things in our own strength and will. And then he's like, really? We'll see about that, Jesse. Right? We'll see about that, Rebecca. You guys think you got this figured out? And then we're like, and we come back, always have to come back. Oh, sorry, God, it's your church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are your people. And then resource us, because we all know that God won't send us on a mission without the complete tools, right? And sometimes he gives you enough tools to get you to the point to where you're on the cliff ready to jump, and you got all the tools there, but you don't have the parachute. It's like, oh no, I don't want you to parachute. I just wanted to get you here. You're not even going down that way. You're going to go over here, and there's going to be a whitewater raft that you're going to jump in, and you're going to take that ride down the mountain, and you're going to get to learn a really cool new technique that you had never learned before. And you're going to learn how to deal with these people that you never otherwise would have known how, but I want you to love them.
Yeah.
I want you to love them. I want you to, regardless of the rapids that they're putting you through, the ups and downs, the turbulent waters that they are bringing into your life, these are going to teach you how to love better and make you stronger in the end, because you're going to have to paddle through it, and you're going to bring them into the raft with you, and you're going to keep on going. And so, yeah.
I want to, if I can, just zoom on that just a little bit, because as you're speaking, it's almost like you're speaking to where I'm just at, and it's just been an interesting year and season of life and ministry for me, period. And I totally, when you use the imagery of we're going up, you thought I was going to parachute down. No, you're not even going that way. We're actually going to take you over here. I just wanted to get you here. Yeah. And the rapids and that kind of a thing. Tell me, I'm not even asking for a friend. I'm asking for me. Okay. So we'll say it that way, of like, when you're, you've got that adventure spirit already. So for some of it's like, let's bring it on kind of a thing, maybe. But what are the things that you're keeping in mind, or where's your mindset or even your heart as you're walking through these things? 'Cause I even had the thought today, like I've been in this type of a season before, but that doesn't mean I have to like it. Right. And so how do you keep that proper posture and mindset as you're going through these things and knowing that God's using this?
Yeah. It sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks because you're like, oh my gosh, okay, God, you brought these amazing, powerful leaders into our lives, right? And then you're pouring into them, and then all of a sudden, you're like, whoa, they're not where I thought they were. What's going on? And and then you start seeing underneath all of the hurt, all of the baggage, all of the pain, all the rejection that they've had from other churches, from other people. And you're like, God, I don't understand it. I don't know why you would bring such powerful people. And then it's not like what we thought. Like, we thought that they were going to help build an incredible ministry, which they are super powerful people, right? And then you're like, God, what now? And he's like, no, I didn't bring them to build the ministry. That was all you, Jesse. That was all you. I brought them so that you could help heal them, to where you could walk them into where I am calling them to, but you are to help them get there. And because of that perspective, knowing that God uses us as a tool, right? We're not always going to be the John Deere tractor that people are just sitting in the cab chilling. We're actually the tool, and we're plowing and breaking up the ground in their life. And that's painful. And it brings up roots. It brings up rocks. It brings up all these impure things that you have to go back and collect and get out, or else it's going to be growing in the harvest. And then your harvest isn't going to be as plentiful, right? And so God is using us as tools. And then what keeps me is that it's his church, his people. And that I know that it sucks to be a tool, because if you're a hammer, what are you doing? You're beating your stinking head against an object, and you get headaches and you're like, are you serious? I've got to go hammer in 100 more nails? Dude, I don't know if I can do this anymore. Right?
Yes.
You're a tool, and you were built for it.
You're a tool.
Is that the name of the episode? You're a tool.
I don't know. We'll workshop that one. Anyway.
Yeah. Hey, Chad, I don't know. This might speak to you in this space. In our house, maybe one of the favorite verses that gets quoted is that verse in Hebrews where it's like, no discipline is enjoyable while it's happening. It's painful.
Yeah.
But after.
Where do you have that hanging in your house?
Huh?
I said, where do you have that hanging in your house?
It's not hanging in our house. We say this to our children.
Oh, you just say it. Okay, got it.
We'll repeat it back to me all the time. They're like, Dad, we know. It's painful. This is discipline. Discipline is hard. Discipline stinks. It's painful. But after, there's going to be a peaceful harvest of righteousness, of good things. There's better things to come.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's like with a hammer, you know what? You're beating your head against nails the whole time, but whenever you get back and you look and you've got this beautiful home that's been built.
Yeah.
Yep. That's right.
It's worth it.
That's good. Thank you both. I don't know how this turned into something for me, so I just want to. We're here to interview Jesse, but thank you. I appreciate you both speaking.
We'll bill you later.
Bill me. Likewise, buddy. If we're gonna go that route, likewise.
I don't know if you noticed. I've just been sitting, listening, and how's that make you feel?
Yeah.
But I feel like I feel like I'm supposed to say this. Jesus sent them out 2 by 2. You're married, right, Chad?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so Jesus sent them out 2 by 2. And we have, I don't know about you, but Rebecca is my sounding board. Sometimes she prays and against it. She's like, I don't want you talking to me anymore. Right? I don't want that. I don't want to deal with that stress.
Sure.
But he did. He sent us out 2 by 2 for a purpose. That way because I don't know if you've noticed it in your life, but in my life, whenever I'm up here, she might be down here, or we might be equal, right? But we're never down here equally together. The Holy Spirit has orchestrated it to where we're never both at the low at the same time.
Yeah.
There's always the other one to help pull you back up, one way or the other. And so that's the grace of God.
Yeah.
To always supply a different perspective into the situation, even though we both can agree that, this really stinks. But then she'll be the ray of sunshine being like, oh, but we serve a God that is powerful. We serve a God that can right and straighten all paths. Right.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, yeah, you're right. Okay. Let me try to get in on this. Let me get my mindset. Let me renew my mind. And so, that's all.
That's good. No, I receive it. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's really good. I want to maybe ask about your church planting experience, because I don't often hear the story of, okay, I finally accepted the call to pursue becoming a licensed pastor, whatever that looks like, whether that's vocational or not, but then almost immediately go, and my next step is I'm going to start a church. You don't usually hear that kind of a thing. And so talk to me about that process, or even, some of what you have experienced that as you stepped into that. And I know I can agree with you. Like I said, it's God's church and that kind of a thing, but there's still, church planter, there's some things that we see that maybe others just don't, right? And encounter. And so what has that been like for you?
Well, I will say that whenever we first were going to do this church plant, I was like, oh my gosh, as soon as we start this, we're going to have like 150 people.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Like,
yes.
Man, I know all these people and everybody's like, oh, we're so excited. I'm like, dude, we're going to have this flourishing church. And then,
that's right. It's going to blow up.
And then you step out and you're like, hey, babe.
Where'd they go?
Is anybody coming this morning? I got a sermon.
I'm the only one.
Yeah.
And then she'll be like, well, no matter who comes, those are the one that God wants us to minister to. Yeah. And then you get 2 people through the door and you're like, and they're like, hey, we're going to commit to you guys. And we're like, what?
Yeah.
That's it. But then you're like, praise God, because we were like, not alone.
Right.
Sorry, I jumped ahead. So
that's
from
okay.
when I knew all my whole life what I was supposed to do, I just ignored it. Right.
Yeah.
And so that's why the jump was kind of easy. Plus I'm the kind of guy that, I don't want to sound weird or anything, but I have crazy faith.
Yeah.
I have crazy faith, and all I need is for him to say, go, and I do it. And if there's not a parachute, then I know he's going to provide something.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what we did. I'm like, I knew that we were supposed to do a church plant. Rebecca confirmed it. We had confirmation along the way. And there was that time between being prepared, right? Mm-hmm. And so we were kind of in the wilderness being prepared, because we know whenever you're in the wilderness that you're not just to sit there and sulk and everything, but it's a time of preparation.
Yeah.
And it's not just sitting there complaining the whole time. It's like, okay, let's get prepared for what's coming next, because there is after.
Yeah. Yes.
And so that's what we were doing. We were preparing in our hearts. We were preparing in relationship together. We were preparing as a family and dreaming about ministry and talking about it out loud. And then so whenever it became time for us to step out and do it, we were ready.
Yeah.
And like I said, that we always heard that church planting was hard, right? And awful stories. But we prayed for years. We prayed against it. We said, Lord, that this will be joy. We spoke against it. We rebuked the lies that the enemy told and said that church planting is going to be so hard and difficult and all this other. And we rebuked it. And I'm going to tell you that, yeah, there's ups and downs, but it has, even in the ups and downs, it's like such a small amount of time of like disappointment, but there's still joy. Even in that small time, you're like, oh my gosh, this is a pruning. That's exciting because there's going to be growth, right? Or be like, oh my gosh, okay, so dude, look, we don't have a building, right? Well, because there's going to be something better that's coming. We know that he is going to provide for us and give. I know in my heart that he's going to give us a building. In Georgetown, just to give you a perspective, 5,000 square feet of store frontage space. It's going for $22,000 a month.
Yeah.
A month.
Yeah.
And that's not including triple net. It's like, are you kidding me? I'm like, I don't know how churches are even doing anything, because that's one thing from the beginning I swore that we would never do. We would never put the church in the position to have church in order to pay for church.
That's good.
We always want to be in a position for the church to do church, to go out and to do ministry. And that's the object and the goal behind this. And so God gave us the Chamber of Commerce. Can't beat the price that we have, and praise them, Georgetown Chamber of Commerce. We thank you, and we can never thank you enough for allowing us to be where we are for what we're paying compared to everything else. It's like incredible. It is a gift of God, and without a shadow of doubt. And so, and so the ups and downs, there's always more ups than there are downs. That's because incredible. we're constantly going towards him, and sanctification, right?
Sure.
It's not like what you said, it's not linear. It's like, dude, we ebb and flow, but we're still the upward trajectory, right? It's like Bitcoin.
Your analogies.
The references in this episode alone are incredible. Yeah, no, this is so good. I just love it's speaking to me still. Like I said, I'm just really enjoying hearing just your perspective, and also how that has shaped your journey, and even how you're leading this church now. But it's I think it goes back to what you've said several times. This is God's church. And so you're talking about like the insurmountable things. I don't know how churches are doing this and that kind of thing, in the same breath be able to go, but you know what? God's got this, and look at this. We're just up and down. We're going up, and and it's recentering to me, I think, to actually have that perspective of, at the end of the day, this is God's church, and he will build it, period. Mm-hmm. Nothing that I do. In fact, oftentimes he works in spite of me, right? In some of these things. And so I just think that's an incredibly recentering perspective of this is not my church. This is God's church. It's not even my ministry. Yeah. This is just the assignment he has given me, and I get to be a part of that. So
Absolutely. And, the gates of hell cannot prevail against the church, right? Well, Jesse can't either. And so in spite of me, he's still going to move and he's still going to build his church. And one of the things I tell I remind my congregation, I don't tell them, I remind my congregation of my priorities. God, my relationship with the Lord comes after that, like my relationship with the Lord, and then my family, and then ministry.
Yeah.
You guys always come after I'm healthy with the Lord, because if I'm not healthy in my relationship, yes, I study for sermons, but I've got to read for myself.
Yeah.
I've got to have two different reading patterns, two different habits, praying for you guys, but praying for me, having a relationship for you guys, but having a relationship with me. Because if I fail to do the first one, then I'm living out my ministry in Jesse.
Yeah.
I'm living out my family life in Jesse instead of the Lord. But if I'm centered on God and I'm following him and my relationship is healthy with him, then my relationship with my family is going to be healthy.
Yeah.
And if your relationship with your family is healthy, that trickles down.
Yeah.
If it's not healthy, then you need to get your family, you take a sabbatical. You need to recenter and you need to refocus on your family to realign with God. And then once that happens, that joy, that grace, that provision, that blessing just tenfold. And then it just trickles down into the church. And the joy that starts up here with your relationship with the Lord into your family, then it just explodes within the body of Christ. And then other people are catching it. They see that relationship. They see the fire and they want it. They want to taste and see that it's good. They want to be in the stream of him, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's been my order of conviction. And I let people know. And so is Jesse good at putting boundaries? No. People text me at 10, 11 o'clock at night and I feel like I need a response still, but I'm working on it. Right.
Sure.
But my relationship with the Lord is healthy, and my relationship with my family, my wife is incredible. My kids, that my relationship with them is good. Do I get rocky sometimes and it's not good, where like yesterday where I got frustrated and upset, right? And I'm like, this great time of buying the vehicle for our son and trying to communicate and where we're going, following people to go eat. And I get frustrated. Well, that's a direct reflection that day I really didn't have a good alone time with the Lord.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Good. That's good.
And I let life trickle into that flow. And so it's a reset and a recenter for me to spend more time. This morning before we got on, man, I was praying and interceding. I was praying for the Holy Spirit to speak through me to you and to anybody who would hear. That way it would bless them. And so, yeah, sorry.
No. You don't need to apologize for any of that. That's really good. In fact, it's refreshing to me anytime I see a leader, specifically a ministry leader, with the level of self-awareness that you have of, no, I know where this starts, and it's not all just the things that are happening to me. I actually play a real big part in that as well, in my positioning. So I don't apologize. I thank you for it. I think it's great. You've alluded a couple times to your family specifically, and you said something actually even at the top that I wanted to pull out a little bit more. You said that your family is very much a part of what we're doing. This is our ministry. We have a shared vision within that with our family as well. Can you talk to us about where that comes from? I know you just unpacked wonderfully. It starts with God and my relationship with God, and then my wife, and that's into my family. But there can be this thing, especially with, pastors' kids, where it's, and we did a whole episode on this, of like the expectations on pastors' kids and things like that. But to be able to see this as not just something that mom and dad does, but it's something that we're all a part of. And where does that come from, or what has been your approach as you guys walk through with that?
Communication.
Okay.
Communication is key. I've seen it time and time again where in ministry, families get strained, right? And whenever that happens, it's sad, but like the kids get burned out because they are trying to live up to the expectation. But whenever you communicate with your kids and say, hey, yes, look, I've said it before. I'm like, guys, we're the pastors of the church. We've got to, and then I'll stop myself and be like, hey, if you don't want to come this morning, it's okay. You need a break. Let's figure it out. If you're not feeling good, stay home. You don't have to help with worship. You don't have to help with slides. You don't have to help with setup. You don't have to help with teardown. And so it's your choice, guys. You are just like everybody else that attends the church. You have a choice. And I want you to be led by the Holy Spirit in what your responsibility is. Yes, sometimes, yes, you do have to get up early. Sorry. But you can come. You don't have to do anything. It's okay if you sit. But let's communicate it, right? And see where you're at and see why you don't want it. What's making you not want to do this? Why do you seem like you're not wanting to go to church today or whatever, right? And then find out what the root is between it. It is communication. It's finding out like where they are at. Yeah. Right. With my wife and I, we talk a lot. My wife is incredible. Okay. One of the questions that you asked is like, what's inspiring in my life right now is my wife, Rebecca. I mean, she is incredible. Yeah. She is a pastor and she is a principal in the school district. Right. And so she's constantly feeding the people, 700 kids or whatever, however many kids it may be. And then the parents that go with it and the teachers, and they call her a nickname for her is pastor principal or principal pastor. Right. And so people know she's a pastor. And so they come to her with their burdens and their problems. And so she has to walk the fine line during the school. So she does that with grace. I mean, incredible grace. She's getting her doctorate. So she's working on her doctorate. And so she's doing that in exceptionally like, well, I couldn't do it.
Yes. Yeah. No, seriously.
And she's co-pastor. So she's dealing with all the church stuff. She's dealing with the problems that I've got to vent. Right. And it's like, yeah. And so she does that with grace. And yes, there are times she's like, hey, I need a break. No more talking to me about this or anything with church. This is, I'm like, okay, got it. And I do my best because I'm a verbal processor and I'm like, and then she's worship pastor too. Right. And so she is in her relationship with the Lord is so good. She is so powerful. She is so anointed. Yeah, she's kind of my hero. Makes me want to cry.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, and so I guess I think I answered the previous question. Like, how do we do that? Yeah.
Yeah. No, it sounds like I love the communication of specifically to your kids, and then between you and your wife, and then everybody all together. Maybe to kind of extend that a little bit in the same way, do you communicate, or how maybe do you communicate to those in your church that these are my kids? They get to be kids. They also get to serve, but that's it. Like speaking to the expectations that unfortunately come sometimes.
Yes. I tell them, you're like, hey, look, they're not doing anything today. Sorry, guys. They're just being people.
That's good.
Yep. Yeah. And you're not their boss.
Right?
That's right.
And so it's like, no, just because you got drug into this because of me and my wife's calling. Well, I really think that they're called to ministry too. Asher wants to be a pastor. I think Gideon wants to be a pastor as well. Asher said numerous times that he can't wait to do online to go to not Life Bible College, but Life Pacific. Right. He wants to be a part of LPU. He wants to be in ministry. And so I guess that's a test of time. We've been doing this for 4 years, and they still have a desire to be in ministry after they see how we lead. And the hard part about ministry is that you have a target on you. It's on your back, right? The front, you're like Talladega Nights, right? I like to think of Jesus. He's got the tuxedo shirt, right? And he turns around, he's got the full mullet and all that in the back. He's like, I'm here for business, but I'm here to party too, right?
And he's up front at the Skinner concert. Yes, no, I'm following you. I'm there with you. Go
pastors,
ahead. Yeah,
that's us. We look like we have it together a lot, but then whenever you turn around, they see your suit, they see your shirt's got like these slashes in it, and there's like scars and there's bruises and just like hurt.
Yeah.
That's the hard part about ministry. It's because people are so hurt, guys. We have buildings full of hurt people. And whenever they feel safety with somebody, it's like, why do you hurt the people that you're closest to? It's because there's comfort in their safety.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's good. Yeah.
We have this target on us, right? But yet there's comfort in knowing that we are a target, not only for the enemy, because if we're being attacked by the enemy, we're doing the right things. If we're being attacked by a congregation, it's because there's some sort of safety and some sort of this, they're just releasing this toxic thing that they've been carrying around, and you're catching the brunt, the shrapnel. Paint explodes and it gets everywhere. And then as a pastor, you're kind of trying to stand in front of everything else to take as much as it as you can to protect everybody else, but yet to protect them, because you don't want to see them get hurt anymore. You don't want to see any of this stuff happening, right? And I'm really, I think that's the hard part about ministry, is knowing how bad people are really hurting.
Mm-hmm.
And in relying solely on the Lord, because I don't know how to deal with that kind of pain. I don't know how to tell you to just get over it. I don't know how, Jesse, being a Marine, be like, suck it up, Buttercup. No, it's not all about sucking it up, Buttercup. It's like, dude, let me walk with you through this. I don't know how far I can walk with you, but I'm going to walk as long as I have grace to walk with you, and to lead you into a newfound place where you can see through all the trauma that you have, that God is actually there, that he's actually there, that Jesus is standing there, that the Holy Spirit has been wrapped in you in this blanket of love the entire time, even though you keep ripping it off and wanting to go back to your trauma. Because like somebody in an abusive relationship, right? There's comfort in that abuse. They know what to expect. If they go home, I'm going to get beat, but I know that I'm going to have food. I know my kids are going to be, are going to have a home over their head. I hate it going back to it, but I'm afraid of what would happen if I left. The unknown sometimes is so much scarier to somebody who is in all this pain and turmoil than to the unknown is worse, right? Of what it really looks like to be healed. I don't know what a healed Jesse looks like. And I'm afraid to see what a healed Jesse looked like, because maybe I'm not going to be the person that I know I am, who I am now. What's this new person going to look like? Right. And then so a lot of times people are stuck in the past, and they're so accustomed, and they have taken all this and they have made a relationship with it, and they don't know how to break free from that relationship to receive the full healing. And it makes it hard for us.
Yeah. That's really as I say, it's really, really profound perspective on a lot of things. I love the thought of the reason that maybe they are reacting the way they are is because you've made it safe enough for them to be that and to actually allow that to come out so you can expose the lies and replace it with the truth and bring people. I mean, we talk a lot about bringing people to wholeness in Jesus Christ and through that. And the idea that maybe some of the things that I encounter with people are because I have created that space where they can be that and respond. That's really, really profound.
And the hard part is figuring out that boundary where you're allowing them to be able to get healing, but then you have to protect yourself as well. Right. And that sometimes it's hard to navigate that to where you're not, where you're not just another hurt on their low tally list. Right. So,
yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's a, we can go on and on about the boundaries within that. And I 100% agree within that because you're not also a punching bag as well. But I think, if I come back to that spot of just remembering, one, like you said, this is God's church. It's not mine. These are the people that he has brought me to, and they're hurting just as much as I am. And so I get to walk with them within that. That's just great perspective.
Yeah. And one thing, names are a big thing in the Bible. You can see it. It's everywhere. Names are so important. God gives new names, right? Yeah. I mean, you can look and you can look at the, anyway, we won't go into all that, but names are important. And so for somebody who is thinking about starting a church, you really need to pray and intercede and probably fast to figure out what name you're going to name your church, because we're the refuge. Let me tell you, there's a lot of refuging going on. And so whenever you're a refuge, you get a lot of hurt people, because that's our thing is we're the refuge. We're a place for people to prepare for purpose through authentic, repentant Christianity. So
nice.
Yeah. So takeaway, pray about a name.
I would say make sure. I always tell people pray if you're actually supposed to do it, because we've shared on this, and I know that I'm just now meeting you, but there was so much we went through in that season that I felt like God just wanted to refine out of me. It wasn't even about the church in some ways, and even some of the healing and restoration. And for sure, church period, you will collect broken people. It doesn't matter. But there was nothing quite like my time in church planning that season that exposed every insecurity that I ever had, all the ways I thought I had it figured out, all the humility that was not present that really should have been walking into it. And so the name on top of that, that's, if you're taking notes at home, that's another good one, church planters, because it speaks to a lot. It's good.
Well, we should have named our church Celebration. That way we're just having a party all the time.
or Money Church. We are Money Church.
We call them Bling Bling.
That's right.
We get Illuminati all the time.
Temple of the Bling. Now that's partly my fault, because we named our church Illuminate, and then we joined forces with Branson, and they became Illuminate. And we should have seen the emails that we would get asking for all of the money the Illuminati apparently has. It was a lot of fun. Well, Jesse, this has been fantastic, and watching your time and ours, and thank you for giving us as much time as you've given us. But we like to end on really what we're seeing that's encouraging. And specifically, I'm curious, what is encouraging to you or inspiring for you when you look at the landscape of ministry and church as we move forward? What is it that's encouraging you?
You might think it's a little weird, but what encourages me is the end. Yeah.
Yeah, there's hope.
Yeah, that's so loaded. I'm
We're
gonna
just
let you
gonna
just
leave it
talk.
there.
Go ahead.
No,
Go ahead. Yeah, no, that's it. And that's it.
Yeah, that's right.
When I don't have to do it anymore. Anyway.
It's the end.
Yeah.
Whenever I am standing before Jesus Christ, whenever I come home, and to see the table set before me of the harvest, to see those people that may not been sitting at the table before that are there now. Mm-hmm. That's what encourages me, is that one day I pray that I get to hear, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You have made me proud." That is what encourages me.
That's good. That's really good.
Yeah. That's it. That's it.
That's good, man. What that's a great way to end this conversation, because I mean that's an encouragement. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
Even if you're not even in a ministry setting and you found this podcast, thank you, number one. But number two, that is the, I mean, that's the hope that we hold. It's not here. It's for something else. And so, Jesse, thank you so much for your time. And I'll even say for the words you've spoken to me. I'm not going to speak for Brenton, but so good. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks again for listening to the podcast. If you'd like to connect further with our guest, we've made ways to do so available in the episode show notes. If you'd like to connect with us further, support the podcast, or sign up for show updates, just go to withouthatingit.com to get started. And don't forget to subscribe to Ministry Without Hating It wherever you get your podcasts so you don't miss our future episode releases. Thanks again for listening. We'll see you next time.